All right, welcome back. Recently, I've been having a lot of people write in about the same thing. So much so that I'm just going to lump them all into one. I'm not even going to bother posting them because it would be redundant. They want to know if World War III is about to kick off. So let's get into it. All right, so people want to know if World War III is about to go down, if the nukes are going to start flying because of the whole Russia-Ukraine invasion. And the short answer would be probably not, but we do have Biden, and he is a bit of a wild card because so far he hasn't done a single thing right when it comes to economic or foreign policy. And that's not political opinion. I don't want to get political on this. That's just fact. Unless you consider 40-year high inflation, record-breaking gas prices, and leaving some $80+ billion worth of military hardware in Afghanistan for the Taliban to seize, the correct thing to do, at which point I would determine that you don't have the best interests of this country at heart. The point is, old Joe isn't dangerous because he's unpredictable. He's dangerous because he predictably makes bad decisions. If you have a set of options before you, and one is obviously the best option, and one is the worst option, Biden will always pick the worst option. This is something that he's done on the regular. And again, I don't want to get political. I don't want this to be a Biden bashing video. Both people on the right and the left have about had enough of Biden. This is not what the people signed up for. So all that said, it could very well lead to World War III, depending on how much Biden escalates things. I mean, Putin's not going to let up because Biden appears weak, which leads to the other possible outcome that Biden just lets Putin have Ukraine, much like he let the Taliban have Afghanistan, which would be the most likely scenario if we didn't have the other EU countries in the mix, who are pressuring him to do more. And the optics of what he did in Afghanistan weren't all that great, so he's probably less likely to cut and run here. But again, anything's possible with Biden. It all depends on who he's listening to that day, what his handlers are telling him. But really, it could go either way. Normally, I would say no. But I also would have said no to the prospect of gas being this high. So Biden is a bit of a wild card. Now, I know many people are concerned with the prospect of WW3 popping off, particularly young people who never really had to live under that threat. But honestly, I have to say that it doesn't really bother me at all because I grew up during the Cold War. We were under constant threat of being nuked at any given time during that period. It kind of desensitizes and makes you numb to it. It's like, yeah, you got your finger on the button. Okay. Now, if for some reason World War III did start, well, number one, I'm a bit too old to be going to war. I think I'm just outside the acceptable qualifying range at this point. And if they did use nukes, well, then it is what it is. You wouldn't want to live through that anyway. The ones to be vaporized would be the lucky ones, because it wouldn't be all fun and games like a game of Fallout. You would most likely get radiation poisoning and die an excruciating death. The southern hemisphere would have the best odds of survival. The northern hemisphere would just have too much fallout. I used to have a crazy uncle by marriage, and I say used to because he's no longer married to my aunt. And I have no idea whatever happened to him after he got arrested for trying to acquire bioweapons, hence why I call him crazy. But when I was a kid, I spent a summer with him on his many acres in rural Ohio, and he had an underground fallout shelter. It was nothing super fancy or real big. It did have an air filtration system, several bunk beds, a storage area for food and water. And I remember he had explosives around the edges of the hatch that you would climb down to get in. in case something fell on it and trapped him inside, he could blow his way out. Hopefully. I watched the movie Mad Max for the first time. He had it on Laserdisc. He was an 80s prepper, all about that post-apocalyptic survival. And as a kid, I thought it was pretty cool. But now as an adult, I'm thinking, you live in Ohio. How long are you going to stay underground? And even if you stayed down there for a decade or more, there wouldn't be anything left when you emerged. It would have all been irradiated away. The wind can and will carry all of that around. It's not like you can get away from it. Not during total thermonuclear war. So thinking that you could just pop underground for a bit, ride it out, and then resurface later, and everything will be okay, is a bit of wishful thinking. Now, I know that doesn't do anything to put people's minds at ease, but if I've taught you anything, it's not to worry about the things that you can't control. Also, you don't want to be focusing upon the things that you don't want, and then putting a lot of emotional energy into it, such as fear. That doesn't do any good. Remember, what you think about, you bring about. So I really don't focus on such things. And people have asked me, well, Frater, have you done any divination readings on it? Any meditations, trying to see what's going to happen? And the answer is no, because I'm just not that interested in it. Not because I'm trivializing what's happening to the Ukrainians at the moment. I do feel bad and I'm sorry what's happening to them and recognize Putin as the aggressor. I'm just not concerned on whether or not it's going to lead to a larger global conflict. I do my best not to put my mental energy into such things. I personally don't think it will happen, but then again, we do have a potato in charge. I know younger people are more concerned about the possibility than, say, us old folk who lived through the Cold War. So if you want to divine for yourself, then, go ahead. I can even help you out with my advanced tarot course. And I'll even give you 15% off the subscription price through this video only. But as for myself, I'm just not really all that worried about it. Advanced Tarot is the definitive course for reading the tarot in divination or using it in your magical practice. Advanced Tarot is a subscription series that runs for 52 weeks. Each week for an entire year, a new lesson on the tarot will be sent directly to your email inbox. Not only are we going to be learning the meanings of each and every tarot card, we're also going to be covering the astrological, Kabbalistic, and even spiritual correspondences of the cards. We're also going to be covering several tarot spreads and a whole lot more. Beginners need not worry about the title. There's plenty in the course to get you up and reading tarot in no time. It's called Advanced Tarot because it goes beyond what most of the books teach you about what the cards mean. You can get Advanced Tarot and other Mind and Magic programs over at mindandmagic.com today. In any case, it really is a crazy time to be alive. There's been so many things happening that I thought that I would never bear witness to. You just do your best to get through it. That's about all you can do. That'll about do it for today. I want to thank you all for listening. Check out Patreon, Subscribestar, or YouTube memberships for early access to Mystery School videos. Check out the Teespring store for available merch. Follow me on social media, links to follow, and I will see you next time. Take care.